Hi friends, it's Crystal, your Leo best friend, back with another video. And I wanted to start off this week by just saying thank you to those that have stuck around and are following through. And if you're new here, then welcome. I am making videos of how to heal, and not really just how to heal, but specifically how to heal your inner child. It has been a big part of my healing journey, and where I am today is being able to heal that inner child, that of mine. And I'm getting more into that. I felt like I just dived right into the steps of how to do the work, and I really never or I didn't really explain myself of how or why, if this is for you or if this is something that you should do. And along with that note, so I started with the steps, and then I took like a little big step back and was like, okay, let me start from the beginning and let me explain myself and say of why I'm here, why I'm doing this, and what this is. I will continue with the steps. I just wanted to take this back for a little and then make it more clear, so that if you have any doubt in your mind or if there's anything that you are questioning, then I hope that I am answering it in these questions where I am going backwards. So for this week, I'm still going back, still taking that little stroll back, because I wanted to just make it clear to everybody of what I'm doing, what this is for, and really why. And last week I talked about, it was the first time that I mentioned about healing your inner child. And I don't think that people really realize how much that our childhood affects our adulthood. And so for today's video, what I wanted to do is answer another question for you, because that's what I titled my last video, is your question answered. And so for this week, it's just to add more if you did have this question. So what the question is that I'm going to answer is, why should I heal my inner child, and why should I heal my inner child, and what happens if I don't heal my inner child? Because there is one thing that I wanted to mention. Just because you go down this path of healing, I use the word healing because they're all really internal wounds. They're all internal wounds that we are holding within ourselves. And if you think about a wound, like when you hurt yourself on your skin or break a bone or something, you let it heal. And that's really what it is that we have inside ourselves. They're just inner hurt wounds that are just lingering in ourselves until we learn and we are ready to release that. And so with that being said, the reason that I call it healing is for that reason, because it's a wound. And just because that I'm going down this journey, or whatever you want to call it, you don't have to call it that. That's what works for me, and that's what has best described of what I'm doing, because it is a journey. I've gone through so much stuff, and I've gone through so much healing that it has been a journey. It has been a journey to get to where I am, and it's just going down that path. And so I did want to start off with a book recommendation. If no one has read it, it's perfect to go along with healing, and also with anything really in your life, because every single thing that you do is a journey. If you become a new mom, that's a new journey. If you got a new job, that's a whole new journey. Like, there's just different pathways that we're taking, and the reason that I'm calling it a journey is for that reason, because it's gotten me here where I am today. And the book that I want to recommend you guys, it's called The Alchemist, and I would really recommend it to any single person that is ready to really take on a journey of any type of sorts, whether it be to heal your inner child, whether to be start a new position at your job, if you just graduated from school, whatever it is, read this book, because it really does show you that life is all about taking risk and taking different journeys, and it will really show you, like, the path that we take is all to alchemize everything that we've learned along the way. So if for any reason that you guys are like, well, I want to start all this work, but I don't want to call it a journey, I don't want to call it a healing, then don't. Like, you get to call it whatever you want. You get to do whatever you want, because this is your life. I'm just showing you what has worked for me and what is the best way, and I can explain this all to everybody, and because really we're all just learning. We're all here learning. No one knows more than anybody else. Where maybe people are more knowledgeable in certain aspects, but really we're all just trying here. So I just wanted to put that out there, because it's really just about you. And if you're the type of person that's sitting there saying like, hey, I'm ready to heal my inner child, but I don't want to call it healing, I don't want to say that I'm on a journey, then don't. Again, I'm going to say that again, like, then don't call that. Call it what you want. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you call it. At the end of the day, what matters is that you are going to take care, if you want to say take care, or if you want to say heal, you're going to heal that inner child within you, along with talking about the book, talking about The Alchemist. If you read it, if not, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the book. In the book, The Alchemist, it talks about how, so pretty much what the book is about is this guy goes on a journey because they tell him that there's this gold at the pyramids. And so he goes to go and look for the gold, and along his way to find the gold, he meets all these people along his path, and he gets to the pyramid. And then I'll leave it there because then that's for you guys to go and pick up the book, because it's actually really good. But along with the reason that I'm bringing that up is because I wanted to talk about how I was able to get into going into talking to a life coach. And so going to a life coach was a lot of, and I think I told you guys that a lot of heavy things started unpacking for me from my childhood, and I didn't really know what to do at that point. Like, everything just started coming because of all those 1 through 5 steps that I was doing of just releasing and letting my body relax and my mind. And so because I did all of that, I was able to allow space. And because I allowed that space, like, things just started coming to me. And, you know, at this point I was like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know. Like, all these things are coming to me. I need to look for a therapist and just really go and find someone that I can talk to about all of these things that are starting to unfold for me. And in the midst of all of this, my boyfriend has a friend, and that time we went to go hang out and call her one of my angels because she literally saved my life. And that time we went out and we did like this couple thing, and you know, double date not the point of the story. So we were on a double date and we ended up at the mall. And at the mall, it was just like I had this instant click with her. It was just like I felt this instant connection of like trust and of warmth, and I just felt like she was the type of person that you could just trust, you know. And so we were just walking and we were talking, and I don't even remember exactly how the conversation went because it happened so fast. So we were just walking, and you know, we're just trying to get to know each other, like our boyfriends knew each other, so we were just, you know, in between, like, getting to know each other. And she said something along the lines of that she was healing, and she's like, yeah, just healing old stuff, you know. And I was like, me too, actually. Like, that's, yeah, like, that's where I am healing. And that was the first time that I had ever heard like someone say like, I'm healing. And in that moment, it just gave me a sense of hope. Like, you know, this is going through my mind, and we're just talking, and she's just like telling me just certain things. And then I finally told her, in my head, I'm like, oh, I've been looking for a therapist. And I'm like, maybe she's from here, she's from the area, let me ask her if she knows anybody. And so I did. I asked her, I was like, hey, I've actually been wanting to go to therapy. And she's like, oh, I have the perfect person. And she like gave me all the information. She's like, call him. He's really great. He'll like help you, and just here's his information. Just call him. And you know, then that was it from that conversation. And that was like on a Sunday, I believe. And that Monday, I got his information, and I just, you know, I called him. So I'm gonna say her name because I know that she won't get mad that I do. So her name is Joanna, and so I called the life coach that afternoon, and I was like, hey, I met this girl yesterday, and she gave me your information about going to start going to therapy. And he's like, okay, he's like, yeah, well, I'm not a therapist, but I am a life coach. What do you have going on? And so I just gave him this like little glimpse of what was going on. I'm like, you know what, I moved and I had this huge shift, I had this big change. And then as I started relaxing and just like start living, some stuff started coming up from my childhood and I don't know what to do. And he's like, oh, okay. Like he was just like, yeah, okay, when do you want to come in? And I'm like, oh, well, when do you have available? And he's like, I have today at 5 or I have tomorrow at whatever, I don't even remember. But he was just like so open, and I was like, I was not ready for that. I'm used to like before when I ever tried going to therapy, it was like, oh, we have a 3-week wait, we have a 2-week wait, whatever. And so I wasn't ready for him to be like 5 p.m. whatever. And so I remember telling him like, oh, well, can like let me slow down here, like how much is it, like what, it was just like so much that I'm like, okay, let's slow down, what's the price, what is it, you know? And he gave me a price and I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? So his name's Kenny, for those that are wondering. My life coach's name is Kenny. And I remember telling him like, you know what, Kenny, like let me figure some stuff out and let me call you back. Because I remember like just feeling like I need to do this. Like I really need to go see this guy. I need to do something because I don't know what to do. And I called my boyfriend and I told him like, hey, like I just told him the situation and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. And he was like, I don't know if I should, like that's a lot of money right now. And I just remember him telling me like, babe, like if you need this, do it, because it's an investment. It's an investment for you, and if this is gonna help you get better, then do it. And he's like, but if you want to talk about it when you get home, like then we will. And you know, and then after like he told me that, he was like, it's an investment, I started seeing it different. I'm like, you know what, it is an investment. I'm gonna invest in myself, I'm gonna invest in my mental health, I'm gonna invest in me. And I just went for it. I was like, okay, like I'm just going to do it. I'm gonna figure this out and I'm going to do it. And so I remember I called him back and I'm like, hey Kenny, like I think I have a way and I'm gonna do it. Like when I don't know about today because I need to figure some stuff out, finances, everything. But can we do it tomorrow? And he's like, absolutely, come in. And that's really where I started my journey, and everything that he taught me is where I'm getting most and all of my information because of how amazing he was. And it makes me emotional because he literally, sorry, like Kenny literally saved my life. I'm sorry guys, this makes me super emotional. It makes me emotional because if you've never felt heard before and you've never really felt like people really listen, like he was the type of person that you just knew he was listening. And you know, it's been life-changing. Like because of him, I'm able to be here today, even sharing all this information with you guys. And sorry, let me get myself together. Let me get myself back together and then I will come back. Okay, I'm back and I'm okay. I didn't realize how much emotional talking about Kenny that was gonna make me. I really didn't think that was gonna get me emotional, but as you can tell, like he changed my life. And it all started with my meeting. I call her my friend now because of everything that she's done for me along my journey, and like it's just that type of friend that you just learn off of each other. And so it just started with meeting her and introducing me to Kenny, and he really, really changed my life. And sorry, anyways. So the reason sorry guys, this is me, this is literally me. I'm very emotional and this is just me, and you guys are gonna get to know me. The main reason that I'm bringing him up is not only does he do life coaching, but he has a whole YouTube, he has a whole podcast, he has a whole book, Like he and Instagram, Facebook, like he has a lot of information out there for every single person. And it's really, really good information. And I'm gonna put all his information down below because he's the person that like you need to go to and read his stuff and just look into him, because he's so knowledgeable about all of this inner child work. Like he is really passionate about helping people in healing their inner child. And he also has a really, really good book that I do recommend to everybody to read. It's called Your Journey to Success, and I've read that book twice. Since I've read it, I've gotten something completely different, and it's a book that I will always go back to. Like I'm thinking about going back and reading it again for the third time, because he just has so much knowledge in all of this that it just inspires you. And so with the candy talk, and why I brought all of this up is because backtrack of the reason that you should heal your inner child and the reason that you should do this work is because he calls it this thing, he calls it the worst day cycle. And at first when he told me that, I was just like, what do you mean? Like I cause everything for myself? And he's like, yeah, you really do. And he tells you what you need to hear. He doesn't tell you what you want to hear. He's gonna straight up tell you like, no, yeah, you're doing this to yourself, and this is why. And in learning the worst day cycle, I wanted to talk to you guys about it, because this is really what's gonna answer your question of like, why should I heal my inner child? And I'll explain this, and then I'll explain it in my words of the best way that I can describe this. He has a website as well, which I will link everything, because really you guys need to check him out. And so the worst day cycle, and I'll try to put a little picture here if I figure out my editing skills, but he calls it the worst day cycle. And so it goes from trauma, and it's just like a cycle, think of a circle. So it goes from trauma to fear to shame to denial, and then you just repeat that cycle. So you can start that cycle anywhere, but it's literally the cycle that you are living if you don't heal your inner child. Because I posted this week, if you guys haven't seen it on my Instagram, I posted about the subconscious mind, the part of our brain that carries all of our hidden memories, all the suppressed emotions that we once felt as children. That subconscious mind is what gets you to keep going in that cycle, because really the one that's running the show of your day-to-day life is your inner child, the hurt inner child that you have within. And the best way that I can explain this is this child, you on the inside, is just throwing tantrums all the time because they really want attention, they really want love, they really want to be heard, they really want to be taken care of, they want to feel those emotions that you once felt that you didn't allow them to feel. And the more that you start understanding all of this, and the more that you really realize that it's really that inner child that's sabotaging you constantly, of thinking that people are talking about you, thinking that people are doing all of this to you, it's really that inner child within you that's really just hurt. And if you are really serious about doing all this work and really want to change, because you see that you self-sabotage, you see that you throw tantrums, you see that you're always looking for the next chaos in your life, like that's really the inner child in you, the one that looks for the drama, the one that looks for that familiarness of that trauma. Like that's really just your inner child seeking that familiar. Like that's your subconscious mind that is looking just to repeat you in that cycle, because that's what it knows. That's what is safe for your inner child. Because once you step out of that safety, you don't know what's going to happen. And that's where you really have to trust in God and trust in yourself, most importantly, of that I got you, like it's okay, like I got you. And the more that you tell your inner child, and the more that you tell yourself now, like you're safe, the easier that life gets, and the easier that you just surrender and tell God, like, I'm ready to do this. Like, just guide me and help me and protect me along this path, because I know that this is something I want to do. The easier that it gets. And I will say, all of this work, it's not easy. It's truly hard, because in reality, we as children, we hid all those emotions, we hid all those memories, because they were scary. We were in fear, we didn't know what to do. And so thinking about having to relive those emotions again, it is scary. Like, I hid those memories for a reason, but it's like, no, don't hide them anymore. Let them come to light. Let that trauma come to light, and let yourself be seen. Because the closer and the more that you are to be seen, the more that you get to see yourself. And because that's really what matters, is to see yourself. And if you're waiting for someone to come in and help you and save you, no one's going to come in and help and save you. The one that saves you is you. Because there's one thing, that when no one shows up for you and no one is there for you, that's really teaching you, and that's really there to show you that you got yourself. Because really, the one that wants help and to be saved is that inner child within you. And the more that you step in to heal that part of you, and heal that hurt, and heal all those wounds that you have internally, the more that you see life starts getting easier. I'm going to link all of Kenny's information, books. I'll link the Alchemist, and then Your Journey to Success, and pick those books up. And I really hope that this answered your question of, like, why should I heal my inner child? And if it didn't, then send me a message and I'll happily explain it again. I will end this video on that note. And again, if you guys have any questions, reach out to me. And also, I want to end with a prayer, of course. And we'll just sit back and feel the seat that we're sitting on, and just take a deep breath. Hi God, it's me and my friend, and for today I want to say thank you for having us here again, and also I want to say thank you for making us look innerly, and making us look to see that we really need to show up for ourselves before anybody could show up for us. I also want you to send blessings to every single person that is watching this video and also not watching this video. And I just want to say again a huge thank you, and I love you, God, and I love you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week, and again, do not forget to invest in yourself, and always remember that every single day is a new opportunity to grow. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next.